That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. Just because you can do it now does not mean that it will not harm you in the end. Be wise about your decision making and be careful about the things that you indulge in. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the channel of growth. Welcome. If this is your first time seeing me, I am Lanée, B or Brandy. Hello. How are you? Are you ready? Are you ready to grow? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me just say that I tried to make a video earlier in this week. But before I tried to make the video, I tried to put on like a little makeup or something. And the video was trash. The video was trash. The video was trash. And I just think it's funny how, like, do you want me to look crazy over here? Do you want me to look a mess? Crazy. I have notes in my phone for like videos, like a list of videos that you know. Look at the list. Look at that. I don't think I'm doing none of that. You tell me how it works. You tell me who's running the show here. I live on a very busy street, so if you hear trucks, buses, kids, adults, old people, people singing, just ignore that. You know, just ignore it, because it's nothing I could do. There's like no quiet place. So bear with us. Bear with me as I try to get this together. Before I start, I'm gonna pray. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. And then we're gonna jump into it. God, I thank you for another day, chance and opportunity to give your name glory, honor, and praise. God, I pray that you bless this video and this platform. May it touch and reach whoever it is that you may want it to reach. May whoever sees it get something or receive something from it. May it be small or major. May it make a change in their lives. God, I pray that you cover whoever it is that watches this video. Watch them as they go about their day, if they're watching it in the morning or the afternoon. May you cover their next day if they're watching it at night. Oh God, I just pray that you cover each and every soul. And may your name be glorified in the end of it all. In Jesus' name, amen. And that's what happened to Father in heaven. Today, we are going to talk about boundaries. Boundaries. Do you have them? Do you have them? Do you have them? Let me just start off by saying what boundaries are to me before I look up the definition. Just off of the top of my mind, boundaries to me are basically like restrictions or limitations. That's how I put them in my life, to make it simple. Okay, so let's define it now. Boundaries: a line that marks the limits of an area, a dividing line. Also, a limit of a subject or sphere of activity. Synonyms for this word are border, frontier, borderline, partition, dividing line, bounds, confines, limits, yeah, extremities, margins, edges. Child, go look it up. For us, we're gonna use limits. Bounds, y'all that watch basketball, you know what out of bounds is. Circumference, I like circumference because that's circle. You know, you can't pass this. That's all around. You can't come through this. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So now that we know what a boundary is, why do you need boundaries? I feel as though anybody who is goal oriented in any type of way, whatever you're goal oriented in, or whatever your goal may be, you need a boundary, baby. You do. And the reason why you need boundaries is because you're trying to reach something. You're trying to get to something. There is I don't want to keep using the same word, but goal. There is something that you're trying to achieve. And in order for you to get to that, you need discipline. And is there discipline without boundaries? Is there? because I think they're cousins. I think they're related. In order to be disciplined, you have to have some type of limitation. If you have no limits, you have no limits. I ain't got to say nothing else. If you ain't got no limit, you ain't got no limit. But you need one. Let's say, let's simplify. Let's not make it deep. Let's say your goal is as simple as, I'm tired of taking the bus. I need a car. But my job is paying me $10 an hour and only giving me 20 hours a week. How fast are you going to be able to get a car without discipline? Without some type of restriction, some type of limit on your spending, on your funding, on how much you're able to put out for your everyday living, everyday being. I don't know what your expenses may be, but you're going to need some type of structure, some type of in order to get that together, especially if you are an adult. If you're 16 trying to get a car, it might not be that deep. I don't know. You probably don't have as much to do, but adults normally have more responsibility normally, because some teenagers and kids have to be adults early, but I'm not going to get into that. But if you're an adult, chances are you need a because ain't nobody else going to you. You know, in order to even want to get to that stage, you have to have a strong desire for the goal. Let's say your goal is something as simple. Well, mine, I'll put mine. Let's say your goal is as simple as, I want to go to bed. And I want to wake up early. That's mine. I love waking up in the morning. If I could wake up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, that's fine with me. Because guess who's going to be asleep at 10 o'clock? Ain't nothing for me after about 9:30. I don't watch TV shows. I'm not waiting till Love and Hip Hop and them go off. I ain't watching Scandal. Child, I don't watch TV. So if these shows is old, mind your business, because I don't watch it. But ain't nothing for me after a certain time, you know. In the morning, everything is for me, especially being a young entrepreneur, business owner, CEO. I think I need to be there are certain things that I need to catch up on, look at, research, especially for like different business ventures and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that I need to do. And if I do it at night, if I'm staying up overnight, I'm missing coins in the day. So for me, it is imperative that I have a strict discipline on my everyday being for me to grow, flourish, prosper, all that amazing stuff. And if you are a fellow entrepreneur or business owner, then you know what I'm saying. Well, if you're serious, let me say that, because some people just want a quick coin. But if you're looking for longevity, if you're looking for something that's going to last, something that you could pass down, you need some discipline, because you're not going to get what you want by just balling out. So in order to get the results, you must put in the work. And in order to put in the work, you have to put in discipline, or else you're going to put your 2 weeks in and you're going to tap out. Maybe let's say your goal is purity. Purity. If you're aiming for purity, especially if you're in a relationship already, like somebody that you done already got with, and you try to take that thing back, they might try to fight you, but everything's fine. But it's hard to do. It's hard to take back something that you already gave. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. They gonna look at you like you crazy. That's mine. You gave it to me already. If you said, you said, if you did. And 9 times out of 10, if they are not in the same headspace as you, they are not going to understand why it is that you're doing this. And not only are they not going to understand why you're doing this, they going to think that you're doing something else. They going to trip. They going to trip. They going to trip. And if you don't explain why it is that you're doing this, or why you are setting this boundary in place, or why you're making this change, that could easily send somebody into an insecurity or something about themselves. Like, maybe it's me. What did I do? They could start to blame themselves for it. So just make sure that you are very clear with the person about what it is, why it is, and what it's going to be. Because it shouldn't really be negotiable, especially since it's your body. That's not your husband. That's not your wife. You could take back. You could take it back. There's no commitment here. There's no vow. You did it wrong. You're sorry. that you brought them into this and that they brought you, I'm out. We rocking or not. Especially if you're doing it for God. Especially if it is a kingdom-driven goal. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. But also, that is why you should have already had boundaries set in place. You should have already had a discipline about yourself. Because if that were to be so, you wouldn't be sitting here arguing with somebody about your body. How you gonna try and mix me about my parts? Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? It's mine. I live here. I feed this. I pay rent here. Sir? Ma'am? The boundaries that you may want to set for something like that may be something like, you gotta get out my house. Matter of fact, no. You can't come in my house. I'm not talking to you after a certain time period. Don't kiss me. Don't be trying to hug me for over 10 seconds. I don't know. It depends on your sensitivity level. And also, if you have experienced, the stuff already, then it should be easier to track back like your triggers. What does it? What makes me jump? What makes me go? What makes me say, you know what? I think I'm ready to risk it all. What makes you think that? And if you flee the very appearance, you won't have to get into the very experience. If you dig what I'm saying. Be careful. Also, for anybody that is trying to set a boundary for their life and for their better good in the long run, do not let people try to tell you that you can't just because they don't. Don't go for that. Don't go for that, or them trying to tell you that you can't just because they're not used to this version of you. They're not used to that. They're not used to you. You're not coming outside tonight. You're not going out with us. What you mean you don't want to take a shot? Don't go for that. Do not go for the peer pressure. Peer pressure comes in all types of different ways, forms, shapes, sizes, colors, and ethnicities. Don't go for it. Do not go for it. You are trying to do something for you, and if they can't understand that, then they probably don't love you enough, and they probably gotta go. They probably have to go. And your future is something that is non-negotiable. Your future is something that you cannot argue about. You do not know what is coming. So if you feel as though you're in a place that you need to prepare for something, baby, do it. Do not let anybody stop you, because you're going to be mad when it's 3 or 4 years down the line and you realize what you were doing everything for. And you done messed something up just because you let somebody else influence you. Don't let them throw you off your track. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if they try to, then they need a boundary. Set a limit for them. Oh, see, I was telling you that I wasn't coming outside, but now I'm just not talking to you. Now we can't talk. Now you're toxic. You've become toxic. You've transcended into toxicity. Why do you hate my growth? And if it's not that deep to you, if it's not that serious, make it serious. How do we make it serious? Apply it. Apply it to something that you care about or value. Example, say you have a best friend and you're like, you know what, best? I think I want to change my diet habits. The doctor said I ain't doing too good, and I think it's time for a little life change. Something make me better. And when you talk to Best, say like 3 days later, Best goes, "Sup, sis? We at Smash Burger, Red Robin's." Who else? Even if she say I'm on lunch break, you try to slide to Mickey D's. McDonald's don't sell salads right now. Well, at least the one near me. I'm very upset about it. What you trying to do? What you trying to do? Extra ketchup me. Extra barbecue sauce me. And when she's talking like this, you're like, well, wait a minute, Best. I just told you. I was trying. I just told you. I wanted to change my eating habits for my health. Girl, one burger is not going to kill you. Whoa, you need to go. Get behind thee. What is wrong with you? Get behind thee, Satan, and the burger. What you doing? What you doing? Just gonna try to swindle me into Five Guys? Are you serious right now? What can we take from this scenario? You're trying to change your life. Key point: your best friend don't listen to you and she don't care about your life decisions. 3, your best friend don't care. She don't care. So immediately from that you could take, she doesn't take my future serious. Oh, and somebody might be like, it was not that deep. And if it's not that deep to you, if it's not that serious, make it serious. If she's telling you that a burger won't kill you today, chances are she'll do it the day after that or the next week. It's going to persist because that is how serious they took what you had to say. Anybody that doesn't care about your life choice or life change like you do, or doesn't push for that in you, if they're around you and they are showing you something that you already said you don't want to see, something you don't want to do, if they are trying to push you to the opposite side of where you're going, you could be unequally yoked with your friends too, baby. Don't do it. You see that? Health. Hell. I'm playing. The divide is real. When you start making changes in your life, you will really see who is with you, who is for you, and who is pushing you for better. I promise you. I promise you. You making one life change would probably change your whole friend group. You probably won't even bust it up with certain people the same anymore because you changed your language or you changed your habits. You'll be surprised how much could change when you change a habit, especially if you used to do these habits with certain people. If your bond with somebody was over a habit, they're probably going to leave. More than likely, either they're going to change with you or they're going to part from you. They may try to still like link on or try to find something else to bond with you on, but you notice that after you change a certain thing, you and a certain someone do not have the same amount of stuff in common as you thought. And a lot of times the relationships that we have with people are based on bad habits. Have you noticed? Watch your habits. Be careful of your habits. Say you are an ex-smoker. You used to smoke. And you had a cousin or a friend or you name it. You probably used to smoke with your teacher, child. I don't know you. But say you and this certain someone used to really bond heavy over this. When y'all smoked, this is when y'all talked about certain stuff or y'all did certain things together. The things that y'all bonded over in that time period may have been so minuscule and you probably just didn't realize it because since it's a habit, I'm spending time here. I'm spending time with you. I'm talking to you. We're getting to know each other, but probably not really. Probably not really. You want to test it out? Drop a habit. You want to test out a friendship? Drop a habit. You would be surprised at how many people I can't even talk to. But I won't say talk to because of course you got, hey, what's up? Stuff like that. But so many people that I can't even hang with just because I don't party no more. I was never a heavy partier. Let me start there. But the little bit that I was doing was not beneficial for me, especially being goal oriented. I had a goal and no ways to get to it. I would live my same way of living with no restrictions, no limitations, no boundaries set, and I would see nothing. And why would I see nothing? Because I'm doing nothing. Why am I doing nothing? Probably because of who I was around and what they were doing at the time as well. When I decided to start taking my life serious and to start doing something about what I wanted, that's when everything started to come. And it was not an overnight process, but it was gradual change, gradual growth in everything that I did. Like that one little step of aiming to get myself together changed almost every area of my life. And if you were to simply follow me on Snapchat back in the day, child, you see growth. You see growth. If you ever If you have ever seen my Snapchat, you see growth. You know what growth is. You see me. You see me. And it's not as hard as people may think it is, but it will whoop you behind. I'm serious. It will whoop you behind. It will whoop you behind. Especially since it's something that you're probably not used to. Because normally when you set a boundary or a restriction for yourself, it's like so easy to get out of because you set it on yourself. Let's go back to the eating habits. Let's say you want to change your eating habits. And whoever you live with, if you live with anybody, they may have something to share in the refrigerator. Maybe they cooked the night. And what they made isn't necessarily the best thing for your intake of, for what you're trying to do. What are you going to do? You hungry. And in order for you to eat healthy, you probably got to go to Produce Junction or something. You probably got to go get you some healthy goods. But it's food right here. What are you going to do? Where's your discipline? Where is it? Where's your psh? Where's your psh? And you need that. You're going to need the whip. You're going to need to crack the whip on yourself. You're going to need to want it so bad. Whatever the goal is, you're going to need to want it so bad that it's not negotiable. Not even with yourself. You got to look at yourself. Not even in the mirror, because you don't always got a mirror. Sometimes you got to just step outside yourself. We're not doing this today. We're not doing this today or tomorrow. Because discipline, the way that you keep it, is consistency. You break one day, and that could tumble over into your whole week, month, year life. Did you hear that? You break it today, that could turn into your week, day, week, month, year, life. That is how it can tumble. It's only one day. I'm only breaking curfew for one day. So it's not serious. It's not serious. Sometimes you have to be that hard on yourself. You have to treat it like it's life or death. In some cases. And I promise you, if it is not serious to you, it will not be serious to them. I promise you. So you have to set that standard for yourself. You have to set those limits for yourself. And make sure that everybody around you knows, I'm not playing with you about this. I'm not. Especially if you're one of those people that says they're going to do things and then you end up not doing it later. And you have the people in your life that watch you do that. That watch you break your own promises to yourself. Yes, I said that. That is that deep. It is that deep. You're breaking promises to yourself. When other people see that you don't even care to keep your own promises, they not worried about too much. And then when you start telling them about certain things, you'll hear back things like this. Girl, didn't you say that last time? Didn't you say you was going to quit last week? Didn't you say this? And that is so important because people are watching you. As soon as you step outside of the normal, or as soon as you step outside of what is familiar and stuff like that, you start changing. You're being watched because you no longer blend in. You out there. This was y'all. Everybody all together on one hand. Up, you're out. Now this is you. This is you. This is them. This is you. You're not in it no more. You're out. And as you're standing out, you have to be strong enough to be able to support yourself if nobody else does. You cannot look for validation from other people. And you have to be very, 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 very serious about what it is that you want to do, honey. You have to be real about it, and you have to be real with yourself. Don't set limits that you haven't even taken the first step to obtain because you're probably going to fall. You skip a step, you're probably going to fall down the steps. I'm trying to make it plain for you. Have you ever fell down steps before? As you set boundaries for one area of your life and you see that they work and you see that they're effective and you see that you're finally doing something, you're going to feel so good. You're going to throw them things all around, child. You're going to throw them all around. All around. Even at family gatherings, probably. I ain't line dancing with y'all last time I was twerking. And as people watch you do it and they see that it's possible, they're probably going to follow. And you probably could get your friends back just by you being faithful to yourself. You could probably get your friends back. Monkey see, monkey do. Who knows? People like to see hope. They like to see that something is possible. And when they feel that something is impossible, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to jump for it. But when they see you taking the jump, and they know you, and they're close to you, and they were able to watch you from -5 to 1,000, when they done seen you change a whole 360, they're probably going to be so inspired by it. They'll probably be inspired or either hate you. And neither one of the two have anything to do with you and what you're doing. You have to push. You have to go. So yeah, be serious about your life. Be intentional about your life. Set boundaries for your life. And whatever area that you need growth in, any area that you need to see a change in your life. And you know what areas those are. I do not, because I don't know you. I'm just a girl in a box on the YouTube. Child, please change it. Work towards it. Be faithful to it. Honor it. Be serious about it. Don't play with it. And anybody that play with it, tell them don't play with you or they gotta go. And when you put people out of your life for the better good, it doesn't always have to be abrupt. It doesn't have to be harsh. You could do something as simple as fall back. Just fall back. And if y'all had that type of relationship where you can simply say why, then do so. If you are able to communicate with them, then do so. When you change and there are other people involved, they'll probably take it as you changed on me. You turned on me, instead of taking into consideration, oh wow, they must really need this. They must really need something in their life to change. They must really need something to happen for them in order for them to be okay. Because why else would they be changing? Because when you end it abruptly, they probably aren't really thinking about you. They're probably just going to take it to heart, because a lot of people don't think about other people first. Unfortunately, they're probably not going to think about you first. They're probably going to think about themselves. So be open, be honest about it. Be bold about it. Baby, get bold. That boldness is dangerous. You hear me? You hear me? You're going to be exposing stuff by accident. I'm not getting into it. Be free from people's opinions about what you're doing. Be free from negativity about what it is. And if you're not sure, for believers, because I'm not trying to push nothing on nobody. If you're not sure what areas that you need discipline in, ask God. If you're not sure if you're supposed to be setting certain restrictions, ask God. So if you need guidance or counsel or anything like that with your decisions or the boundaries that you're thinking about setting, consult with your father, child. He knows. God knows you. He knows your future, past and present. He knows you better than you know you. So it's probably best to ask him which areas it is, because you mess around, set boundaries in something that you didn't need boundaries in, and you just being unproductively productive. Get it together. It ain't too much time to be wasting out here. If you're alive right now, you've probably seen it's going down. It's going down outside. It's going down outside. It's going down. If you have a passion for anything, a goal in your heart, please work towards it. Please stop playing. Time does not wait for you. Tomorrow is not promised. These are things that we know, but we do not apply to our everyday life like it's real. Stop playing. Stop playing. I don't care if you got to smack yourself. Stop playing. When you're trying to set boundaries, people may even pitch it to you. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. Girl, it's just one drink. What are you talking about? It's just one drink now. It's just one cuss word today. It's just going to sleep late tonight. But when that thing becomes a pattern and you break that consistency, it's probably going to roll over into a habit. It's one thing today, but it can roll into a habit. You don't need another bad habit. You do not need another bad habit. You don't need one if you don't got none. You do not need a bad habit. Don't negotiate your discipline. Don't negotiate your boundaries. Especially if God put it there. If God done gave you a boundary or a limit or a restriction, I ain't got to say the rest. I don't gotta say the rest. Your boundary disappears the moment that you compromise it. The moment that you even compromise in your head, before you compromise it out loud, is when it disappears. Be careful. And that wraps up today's segment on boundaries. And it's crazy because I got so much more to say, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want this to be too long. I really don't. So I hope that you got something from it. I hope that you received something from it. And I hope that you know that it is okay to change. As long as it's for the better good of yourself and the planet and the kingdom, if you know where it's at. You have an amazing day, week, month. Have an amazing life. Be blessed. Be free. Be disciplined. Be healthy. Love each other. I love you. And yeah. Bye.